I think people know you, but you can just present yourself again, since this video will be recorded, and for the future viewers, they will know who you are. So.
Yeah. So hello everybody. Oh, how? How I can do the Age of March simple. So I'm Hồng Thăng, the founder and CEO of the Coin for Change Vietnam. And today is the first live stream on our YouTube channel that we going back, like restart our work after a long time pausing due to the COVID pandemic. So very nice to see you here, and thank you for supporting us so far and continue to support us in the future.
So I will present myself. My name is Marie-Noël. I'm French, actually, and I will be in charge of the communication of Coins for Change for the next year, well, for 2021. So if you see like a Facebook post or Instagram post, then it will be me who is behind the text and the pictures. So nice to meet you. I've never done a live stream before, so it will be a bit a bit funny, but let's do that and let's have fun. Do you want to talk about 2020 and like where you were left off with the communication at T4C?
So the pandemic started in Vietnam in March 2020 last year, right before we with Jamie Clef spent a lot of time to prepare for the first annual conference. We spent a lot of time prepare that. However, the government decided to lock down the whole countries, and so we have to cancel the conference. We have to send all our volunteers back home and shut down all our activity. At that time, we only think that, okay, the pandemic may be only for 3 months or 6 months, so everybody going home with an idea in mind that they're gonna return very soon. And luckily, it's already 1 year past, and the situation is not improved much. So we have to change the way we do things. We cannot stay and hope that the pandemic is gonna go by quickly. So that's the situation of the last years. And now we've been posing for a very long time because I have no volunteer to support here. So actually, the communication and marketing have been paused because nobody support with running the media, running the website or on the live stream. However, other work that and we also don't have any volunteers, international volunteer here in Vietnam. However, all the other works, including especially under the empowerment plans, are still running. So we've been on the English Center. We don't have any international volunteer. However, the Vietnamese English teacher continue to support our students with learning English. And we do launch an online volunteering programs at Tang to some volunteers. Sorry, I don't remember exactly how many. Are working directly with our manager to support the center running. And then we also run an online English class for the single mother. It's quite difficult to arrange, the time zone difference. So we cannot expand the work. We cannot have more class to support them. And then due to the pandemic, we had to stop on the vocational training under the her craft. However, for her academy, we are able to run 2 new programs. The first one is psychology support. Before, we have international volunteer come here to work, and we try to build a program to support our single mother psychologically. Due to the COVID, we cannot do it anymore. So we changed that. We have some partner. Right now we have just people, and ISWC is an American international organization that connected to us by Kelly, who is a former volunteer. So they fund us with small fund to hire Vietnamese psychologists to work with the single mother directly in Vietnam here. And we're doing the program online right now. And they also support me to build a YouTube channel which explain, psychology issues, and so the psychologist drive the content, and I add my personal experience into the content to make complete guide for all the single mom, how to overcome their situation, how to understand themselves better, and manage stress better. We have another program with under her academy as well, which we call the emergency fund. We found it because the COVID pandemic forced many of our single mothers have to lost their job because they are mostly working as quite low what they call low skills, like not really necessary in the organization. And due to the COVID, any company want to reduce, worker, so they very easy to lose their job. And so we launched the program to support them with paying the rent or going back to the countryside, or buying food and food during the lockdown and all of that, because the government doesn't have any support for people. So it continues until now. Very lucky for me because I have many other single moms that volunteer to manage the programs, and we are able to support more than 100 single moms with the emergency fund. And then we launched the new program that, thanks for all the volunteer contributed, we supporting all the single mom to buy new clothes for their children for the Tet holidays. And they're very happy having all of that support. And right now we trying to continue that tool program even because we managed to run it online. So no matter the COVID, how long is it running, we can continue to do it with support from our partner and support from the other volunteers, and especially all the single mom that volunteer for those programs.
Yeah, I guess the main problem that C4C is facing is the lack of revenue, because we don't really have any volunteers, so we can't really do Teach for Change, and like Haircraft is kind of complicated to put into action. So there are lots of programs that are but on like pause. So like right now we are only relying on donations, right? Or we still have some revenues from the business on the side.
We rely on donation, which I don't really happy, because the coin for change is decided as an social enterprise. We aim to make money from different ways, and then use the money we make to fund our activity. And right now we relying on donation to run the program, which is not really an idea stage of the organization. However, anyway, we thanks for all the donation, small donation that we have that enable us to continue our social impact activities. And I'm working on. I'm actually very tired. I'm working on a new idea so we can somehow get back to our business part. So we can be more independent to do on the social impact activity. But the pandemic is not only affecting us; it's affected every organization, every enterprise around the world. So we also have to accept the situation. And be patient with that. So we thank you everybody to support with the fundraising program, because right now it is a very difficult situation for us. So thank for any small donation that enable us to continue our social impact activity. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, it's kind of difficult in this current situation to ask for money, to ask for fundings, but we don't really have a choice as it's our main revenue right now, compared to before when C4C was self-sufficient. So that's why like we are doing more and more communication about that, even if it was not the main priority before. So that's why you are seeing on the social medias more and more text about this kind of topic. Okay, do you have any projects that you want to share about what you want to do in 2021? I know it's kind of difficult to plan ahead because everything changes every month, but if you have some idea.
Yeah, so right now we focus on the current two projects that I've just shared, which is the psychology support for the single moms and the emergency fund for the single mother. For the psychologist programs, I'm working well with the two Vietnamese psychologists. However, they we have to pay for them because it's quite difficult for Vietnamese to really volunteers. I'm calling for any volunteer who want to contribute for the YouTube channel, content, any content that you, or you can message me about the content that I'm looking for. Those content that can help our women overcome their situations and dealing with stress and traumas and anxieties. And right now I'm working with the attachment style that affecting them in relationship, those things. Even for the psychologists who study in Vietnam, they're not really familiar. So yeah, welcome anybody, any psychologists that wanted to contribute for the awareness raising phase. Please contact, and we can work together to build something for that. And that is what I want to continue. I want to continue to work in not only 2021 but in the long run, because it's also something very new for Vietnamese community in general, not only for our single mothers. So is it something that we can benefit other people as well? And it's 100% for free. So any people who have time and who are curious to learn about themselves and to improve their mental health situation can benefit from the YouTube channel. And the other, so any psychologist want to contribute can please contact us. And the other program that we're working on, which is emergency fund, we do have some small funding to support with the microfinance. However, before we don't have many people to support me with managing the fund and managing the business activity for the single moms. So we did not really succeed with the small projects that we piloted during 2020s. Now we do have two managers who are single moms, and they are also working as in the business, and they really committed to manage those funds. So hopefully we can raise some more funds and we can kick off that program that can benefit more people. I think that's what we focus on 2021, because we also don't want to plan too much during this very uncertain time that may fail or may unexpectedly affected us in the other way. So yeah.
So you talk about the need for having some help regarding the psychological program. Do you need any other help that you can think of, even if they cannot really come to Vietnam? I know that most people, they want to volunteer because of the human experience, but also the travel experience. Like maybe there are people who want to help but are not able to go to Vietnam, for example, and they don't really know what skills can be necessary. So maybe we can like brainstorm some kind of ideas for them to help us in other way than donating, because not everyone can afford that. So
yeah, for the online volunteers, we've been sending out the call for English teaching online. Of course, the time zone is quite different, but quite difficult to arrange. But if you can check and see some of your free time during the night time of in Vietnam, then you can apply and you can join the teaching to teach the single mother or to teach the kids in our partner schools. And that is one type of volunteers that we always need. The other type of volunteers that we're looking for is we do have many volunteers that plan to come in the future and wanting to come in the future, and they wanted to know about Vietnam and the situation. And right now we only have Marie and me that working for too many things, so we cannot take care of that. So it could be great if any former volunteer have time and wanna support us to keep the community going, and by answering questions from coming volunteer, by updating them with the situations, by sharing your experience when you work with us before, to keep them update and keep them inspired by what happening, what they can expect it when they come here, could be a great idea as well. And then about the fundraising, if you cannot donate, we have some former volunteer who connected us with other organization that they working with. For example, Kelly is connected us with ISWC in America that supporting us with fundings, and also not only funding but also technical support in the psychologist program, which is really awesome. And we do have some other volunteers that organizing tea parties or breakfast where their friend come to their house and enjoy some kind of Vietnamese food, because they were in Vietnam, so they know how to prepare some, and then introduce the idea about what Coin for Change doing with the emergency fund and all of that. So their friend can donate, $1, $2, any dollar can have on the program running. Or you can only need to share our program for your friends, your connections, and anybody just to make it visible online, so people can see what we're doing and can support it. Yeah, it's also great.
Yeah, like any small skills or knowledge that you have that can be useful. For example, like psychologists, if you know a little bit about mental health, etc. Even if you don't really have a degree, but you still can help by sharing your experience, because everyone's experience is useful to create a discussion between people. So if you want to share your experience regarding when you traveled to Vietnam, where you traveled somewhere else, for example, because volunteering is kind of like a big, it's a very like wide word, like it has a lot of meaning. So it can be interesting to share your experience if you have already volunteered, whether it was with C4C, but also with someone else. You can, I don't know, like if you know how to manage a website, you can help on that, like all kind of little tasks that everyone can do at some point but are not really professional on it. It's still okay. So yeah, if you want to help, we're gladly welcoming people. So yeah, the only problem is the borders opening, right? Because right now I'm in France. I wish I could go to Vietnam right away, but yeah, like it's not working right now. So actually I began to work at C4C beginning January. We've been talking together like before in 2020, but we were still waiting to know, like, oh, maybe the borders will open beginning 2021, and actually did not. So yeah, it's kind of difficult to plan ahead. Like volunteering experience is difficult if you don't really know where you are putting your foot on. If it's in Vietnam, if it's still in your home country. So I can understand that it's quite unclear. But yeah, it's a challenge right now. Like everything is uncertain in all countries this year and last year.
Everywhere.
So it's a new challenge for us. Yeah. If you want to add something regarding that, because I don't think we have any more information regarding the borders or
Yeah,
the situation.
the prediction that I dressed internationally, people said it's not really good news. Like maybe it's reopened in 2023. In Vietnam, it seemed like the government and everything a little bit more optimistic. They said that the border may be open in March, but first March, and then now they're talking about maybe May. Some other international newspaper hoping that the border will be open in October. But actually, it's very much depend on the vaccines, and we don't have vaccine now in Vietnam, and everybody looking at the US and how they're doing. So yeah, that's what we cannot say anything. We cannot talk anything in advance. However, we are ready to open to welcome volunteer anytime the border is open, because right now our main English center, the center that we decided in 2020 to continue to work with after the pandemics are still running, and we are trying our best to manage the qualities and the quality of teaching with online volunteer and Vietnamese teach English teacher. So yeah, that 2 weeks after the border is open, you can fly here with on everything gonna be ready to support you. Yeah.
Yeah, we can't wait for that. Like as soon as
Yeah.
it's open, I think like so many people will send an email like, "Oh, don't forget that I've applied before. Don't worry, I will."
Yeah, and for that, I'm really sorry as well, because we only have me and now Maria is working with all the projects running here, so it's quite difficult to reply all of you on time, and sometimes we're very late, or sometimes I even forgot to reply some emails. So let's stay in touch and message us whenever the border is reopen, or we have a kind of whenever we have a kind of announcement that more reliable about the border, the opening.
Yeah, if you follow our social medias, don't
Mm.
worry. Like as soon as there are like some official announcement, like the borders are reopened or visas are okay, then we will post something to say, oh, you can apply again, and we will answer back to you as soon as possible. Right now, we can answer, but the only answer will be, sorry, we want to take you in, but we don't have any answer. So we don't know when you can come. So we will take you, but I don't know when. So it depends more on you if you can wait until we don't know like how many months. So yeah, even if we answer right now, the answer will still be blurry until we have more information on our side, and it's not coming really soon. So yeah, please be patient with us, and don't worry, you will get an answer as soon as we have more information.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
As soon as we have more information, we will update everything anyway. If you have any questions coming up later, or if you want to discuss something with us, don't hesitate to ask on by commenting, by sending us a private message or an email, and we'll try to answer as soon as possible. So don't worry if you weren't able to ask a question now, because we are still here, still staying in position. So yeah, we will try to have a live stream every month. So if you want to talk about a specific topic, if you want to change the time to a better one, it depends on where you are living. So I can understand that, for example, in Europe, it's quite early right now. I know, because it's 5 a.m. In my place. So if you want another time slot, it's okay. You can just send us a comment or something, and then we will try to change it so most people can view the live stream and participate if they want. So yeah, if it's all for you, then it's all good.
Yeah, so and all the information about volunteering opportunity for us, beside the new things that I've searched announced about the psychologists, and then any other volunteering position, we keep the same. So you can join it whenever the border is reopened. You can check on our website at www.coinforchange.net for more information about volunteering and other activity. Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook to get update from new activity.
Yeah, thank you for being there for this live stream, and well, see you soon. Goodbye.
Happy International Women's Day. Bye.
Yeah, happy International Women's Day. Hope you have a fun day and celebrate women and gender equality. Goodbye.
Bye bye.